Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Worth Unlimited Agent Update and Sales Training Call for Monday. I hope you all are doing well. I just came back from Minnesota. Had a great meeting out there in Minnesota. I know some other meetings went on while I was out of town. We were up there with Mr. Dan Trost and had a good group of people that were very excited to get moving and get forward with the rebirth of Worth Unlimited. And we are seeing massive growth. We are seeing massive sales. We couldn't be more excited and more proud of our field than we are right now. And this is just so exciting moving into that kickoff event in October in Orlando. For October, the wholesale discount for the whole month will be eligible for a 10% wholesale discount within the first 20 days as an agent. That's from the date you sign up. That's been extended through October 31st of 2019. September retail discount, that actually should say October retail discount. That was my bad. That's a 10% retail discount, retail code 10, and it's good for 48 hours. And that's extended through October 31st as well. Live events, we have Dallas, Texas coming up on Friday and Saturday, October 11th and 12th. Friday and Saturday, we have Atlanta, Georgia, and that's October 11th and 12th as well. Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th, will be St. Louis, Missouri. Saturday, October 19th, will be Columbia, South Carolina. Tuesday, October 29th, will be Columbia, South Carolina. Friday and Saturday, November 8th and 9th, will be Albany, Georgia. And Friday and Saturday, November 15th and 16th, will be San Antonio, Texas. We have more requests that are coming in, so we'll be processing those for what the latter part of November and December looks like moving into January. For details, who's hosting, how to register, how to RSVP, see your agent back office for the registration and location details on all of these events. We are very excited about the Worth National Kickoff. We've had great response, a lot of sign-ups from individuals registering for the event as well as the room blocks. Our room blocks will run out in a certain period of time here, so if I could make any suggestion to anyone whatsoever, please register before October 11th so you can take advantage of the $99 registration fee. You can see that through the 12th and the 18th, the registration fee will be $119 for the room. This is for your room itself. And October 19th through the 23rd will be $129 for registration. This is for attending the meeting. This is not for your room block. This is the actual cost of registering and getting your ticket for the meeting. And then day of October 24th and through the 26th, it'll be $139 at the door. So please get in there and re-register, take advantage of the $99. Get in there also, and get your rooms reserved. Now, because we're so excited about what is going on and the degree of training that you'll be receiving at the kickoff, as part of our commitment to have the national kickoff event surpass all expectations, we've created the following promos that will be available to all agents that are in attendance at the live kickoff event. In order to qualify for these promos, you must be at the event. If you register for your room and you just don't show up, or you have some reason you couldn't make it to Orlando, these promos will not be extended. There will not be exceptions made to these promos. So the first promo is due to significant training that will take place at the National Kickoff event. Instead of doing 2 field training sales and 2 personal sales to become a certified field trainer, all Worth agents in attendance will have their requirements reduced to 2 field training sales and only 1 personal sale. That really gives you a jump start towards your business. I strongly suggest you take advantage of these promos. In addition, normally you have to have already completed the field training and personal sales before being invited to the Train the Trainers 101, 102, and 103 sessions. However, Those who attend the kickoff event will be able to train the trainers in advance of doing the required field training and personal sales. What this means to you is you can attend the 101, 102, and 103 sales trainer training sessions prior to completing your required training sales. So this is another movement and another big deal for you to move your business forward. Those attending the kickoff event, and I can't believe they did this, but I love this, will get one 25% off coupon to either use on their own purchase, or they can give that to a client or an agent who is looking to do this as well. So with that having been said, the 25% off coupon for the Worth account you can give to yourself for your purchase, or you can use for a client or an agent, and that will expire November 8th, 2019, and it will start on the date of kickoff for those. So these promos, very exciting, great way to jumpstart your business, great way to get a discount on the product, or if you have a son, daughter, friend, somebody that's been looking at the program but just can't get over the price tag, you can gift that 25% discount over to them as well. The National Kickoff event for room registrations, your details are located under the kickoff event. Go to your back office. Go to your back office links. If those of you don't know where to get the back office information, just go to your back office and scroll down the page in your back office, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Special pricing of $145 per night, double occupancy. Parking fee of $15 is waived. 10% discount on all restaurant dining within the complex for guests of Worth Unlimited. You can also call to reserve your room at 1-800-627-8258, and this is for your room block. And this is a limited block for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Rooms will go fast, so do not delay. Reserve your room today. Pricing and block ends October 3rd. After rooms are based on availability and current room pricing. If you're not under the room block, parking is $5 per day. Where you would go to register is in your agent back office. You would scroll down to Friday, October 25th. Click on the register button. It's going to take you into this page where you can click on tickets to purchase your tickets. And then if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, just under the tickets, you'll see discounted room rates of $145 per night. You can actually click right where I've encircled that in the box, and it'll take you to the room block to be able to get your rooms, or you can make the phone call and let them know that you are with Worth Unlimited. Blog Talk Radio is now Tuesdays at 12 noon and Thursdays at 12 noon. Everything Worth Unlimited. Opportunities, success stories. We had some great testimonials that we're going to get posted to the back office for you. What's working, what's not working. To join the show, dial 646-787-8176 and log into blogtalkradio.com/Worth Agents for the information on Blog Talk Radio. All right, so this evening, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Well, tonight we're going to be talking about compliance marketing, and I just want to start off this call by saying this is probably one of the more dry pieces of information that we're going to go over in a training. Compliance is essential to our business. I also want you to know that everything that I'm going to go over this evening, if you go to your agent back office, if you go to the right-hand side under procedural resources, what you will see there is the policy and procedures manual. Now, I'm not what you would call a super quick read, but for me to read the entire document and thoroughly understand it, make notes on that document, it took me all of 20 minutes. If you are in this business and you are rowing in the same direction we are to buy America back one family at a time, if you're excited about the growth and the rebirth of Worth Unlimited and seeing the exciting changes that are taking place and how we are truly helping American families and individuals not only to set up for their future and future wealth, but to get out of debt, and with our mission statement in mind, buying America back one family at a time, then this is something that would be very important to you, because compliance at the end of the day is all about protecting you, protecting us, protecting our business, protecting the name. Compliance is essential to our business and the future of our opportunity. While we may not always agree with compliance regulations, they are necessary. They're non-negotiable and must be adhered to. We cannot allow anyone to step outside of compliance and potentially jeopardize our current or future business opportunity, reputation, or branding. If you have any materials that you are thinking of producing that do not come directly from Worth Unlimited, let me give you a caution. Please make a note. Before you go to print, before you go to publication on social media, before you put a video out there, before you put a business card out there, make sure you send it to compliance@worthunlimited.com for review. We've gotten very good about these reviews. Answers back are typically no longer than 48 hours. We try to get back to you within 24 hours with direction on the materials you've created as to whether or not they are just good to go as are, or if they have some corrections that need to be made before they go to print. It's very sad to me when I am approached with individuals, as I've been on the road over the past few weeks, and they show me these beautiful looking pieces that they've created, already gone to print, and I find out that half of what they have created is not compliant whatsoever. So please, before you go to print, before you distribute, before you publish, before you do anything, if it is materials that you have created yourself, please submit them to compliance@worthunlimited.com. Okay, so advertising, this comes right out of the P&P, and you're going to notice I cite the section and paragraph of each one of these, because I want you to understand the information I'm going over tonight is information you already have at your access, and I'm going to break it down so it's very understandable. Most of the material that I receive for a sign-off from compliance, if the individual would read the P&P prior to creating the materials, I would say 99.9% of your questions are answered in the P&P. So 3-2, general, all independent agents shall safeguard and promote the good reputation of Worth and its products, the marketing and promotion of Worth, the Worth opportunity. The marketing and compensation plan and Worth products shall be consistent with the public interest, and it must avoid all discredious, deceptive, misleading, unethical, or immoral conduct or practices. So what are we really saying there? We're saying be a good person. Be a person of moral center. Approach your business with ethics. You don't have to oversell this product. You don't have to over-sensationalize this product. What we have found in our experience, and I know many of you are finding this in the field, is some people get it right out of the gate. Some prospects, they see it and they're like, I get it, I've got to have it. It gives me a track run on it. It's a GPS. It gives me visual information. I get the business. It's a great business. You can build a great team, earn a substantial income. If you're in that basket with us, if you're driving in the same direction, what this is really saying is be a person of moral and ethic. Lead with the heart of a servant. Lead with trying to do the absolute best that you can do for the individual prospect. You know, there's an old saying, and I love this saying, if you spend your life giving people what they need, you will get back more than you could ever possibly hope for. And I think this falls right in line with this general blurb about advertising. General all, to promote both the products and services and the tremendous opportunity Worth offers, independent agents may only use the sales aids and support materials produced by Worth. If an independent agent creates an advertising piece that he/she believes would be effective, he/she must submit it to the company for approval. The company may elect to publish the material and make it available to all independent agents. Independent agents waive any claim to royalties or payments of any nature for material they submit to the company. So what are we saying here? Well, if it's already produced by Worth Unlimited, you don't have to send it to us for a compliance review. If it appears in your back office, like the index card, the brochure, if it's language that's directly off the agent back office, off of your replicated websites, this is all material that has already been approved. If you utilize those materials in combination, you really don't need to create new materials, but if you feel that you've got a line on a specific niche for marketing, or you feel you've come up with a marketing piece that is just hands and feet above anything else we have and would really help your business, we are encouraging you to create these materials, but we're encouraging before you put them for publication to send them directly to us. Now, the last part of this paragraph, what this is talking about, is if you do create materials, whether they be PowerPoint presentations, whether they be flyers, door hangers, postcards, whatever it is that you create is the property of Worth Unlimited once it is submitted to compliance. And we can elect whether or not to say, yes, this material looks good, and yes, you can go forward and produce it, or you know what, you need to make all of these corrections, or this is just not a piece that we want to have out there. But if Worth Unlimited, whether it be PowerPoint presentations, again, flyers, social media, business cards, whatever it is, if we do elect to allow you to utilize that information and think it's in keeping with the message of Worth Unlimited, then you cannot sell that information. You cannot sell trainings. You cannot sell your business cards, your back sheets. You cannot do any of this material for profit. It is all rendered to Worth Unlimited and dispersed accordingly. So just want to make sure everybody's clear on that point. Domain names and emails. Independent agents may not use or attempt to register any of Worth's trade names, trademarks, service names, service marks, product names, the company name, or any derivative thereof for any internet domain name, social networking username, or email address. So what are we saying there? In your email address, your domain names, your personal advertising of your business name or anything along those lines, you cannot use Worth Unlimited. You cannot use the Worth account in your actual domain names. Now, you could have buy down my mortgage as your domain name, or get out of debt in half the time, or whatever you want in that phraseology. It's just in the actual email address, the domain name, or the landing page name itself in the URL. You cannot have Worth or Worth Unlimited or the Worth account mentioned in that information. Now, you can display that information once they go to a landing page. And again, remember, you must always represent yourself as an independent agent of Worth Unlimited, not software advisor, not financial advisor. It is Worth Unlimited Independent Agent. That would be your title and your moniker for that. Trademarks and copyrights. Worth will not allow the use of its trade names, trademarks, designs, or symbols by any person, including independent agents, without its prior written permission. So if you are going to produce a card or a flyer or a short video or an animation or whatever it is that you're going to create, if it is going to have our trademarks or our names in it anywhere in that flyer, it needs to be submitted to compliance@worthunlimited.com for approval. Once again, if this is materials that have already been created, you do not need to submit them. Agents reproduce for sale or for personal use any recording or company-produced audio or video or tape presentation. So if you notice in our meetings, we don't allow people to record. And the reason that we did that is, one, obviously, you could have somebody having an off day in the meeting and maybe say something that we don't want out there everywhere. That's the most common. Secondarily, we don't want anybody profiting from the sale of DVDs or the sale of recordings or direction of people to a site. profiting off of the information that they need just to be successful in their business. We want to make this an equal opportunity for every single agent, a level playing field, and we want every single agent to be completely vested in the protection of the company, the opportunity, the branding, and we don't want people feeling as though they have to pay to learn how to do this business. That is one of the beauties of this company I have always seen, is people even crossing teams, sharing information with one another because they're localized in an area, coming together and cross teams in meetings to promote those meetings together, even though people are not in the same teams, and sharing the information and sharing the training systems and sharing the flyers and sharing all of the information that we have as a collective as Worth Unlimited to be distributed and available to everyone in the field. Media and media inquiries. This really poses a situation that I want to address pretty sternly. Independent agents must not attempt to contact media or respond to media inquiries regarding Worth, its products or services, or their independent agent Worth business for any reason. All requests to contact media or inquiries made by any type of media must be immediately referred to Worth Compliance Department. So why do we take such a strong stand on that? Well, I think we've all come to learn, and we're going to see a little bit about social media in this as well. We've learned that the media no longer reports good news. You just don't hear a lot of good news. And I know many of you have either by your own example or situation, or a situation that you're familiar with another individual, have had an interview or been involved in a radio interview or a media interview, and they took everything out of context and just played excerpts from the interview that swayed to their side, their belief, their demographic, their whatever, but took everything out of context. So the message was very muddied and didn't get the message across that you wanted to get across. Well, we find, especially when businesses are growing and they're exploding, the target on the back of a business becomes larger and larger the larger the company becomes. And the last thing we want to have out there is bad press or items taken out of context, quotes taken out of context, or maybe have somebody start impose on us and then maybe have a change of heart and then come back and go a totally different direction on us. So please, 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 if you are contacted by the media to know more about Worth Unlimited, if you know somebody at a radio station or TV station and you've discussed Worth Unlimited, please, before you make any agreements, before you have any conversations, before you sit down and do any interviews whatsoever, that you submit the radio or TV station's name, the affiliate, the individual that would be doing the interview, an email and a phone number for that individual, and maybe a URL that can take us so we can review what stories have they covered in the past, whether that be radio or whether that be direct media like TV or infomercials also fall under this category. Before you move forward on any infomercials, any media, please contact Worth Unlimited, compliance at worthunlimited.com, and supply us with all the necessary information that we need so we can do some investigation before we agree to any media coverage whatsoever where the Worth opportunity or the Worth product is concerned. Unsolicited emails. Worth does not permit independent agents to send unsolicited commercial emails unless such emails strictly comply with applicable laws and regulations, including and without limitation to the Federal Can-Spam Act. Any email sent by an independent agent that promotes Worth, the Worth opportunity, or Worth products and services must comply with the following. Now I'm going to pull up the next screen. It's going to have a lot of stuff there, but what we really want to know from this, you can't just get a list of names and get an auto email and just start sending out blast emails to people that you do not know. I will tell you this, I have seen more people's business affected by having their emails placed in a spam or junk folder, so that any emails or the bulk of their emails that come out, I'm sure you all have seen this before, you'll open up an email and there'll be a yellow band across it and said, do you want to report spam? Or it may say something like, this could be phishing, do you want to continue? The minute your emails get listed as phishing or as spam or junk, you've really taken away a lot of your power. We prefer that you email people that you know, that you email people that are already in your contact list so it won't come across as a spam. We do not promote blast emails. We do not promote the purchasing of lists to email. Operate in your warm market, operate through your phone, operate through the contacts that you currently have and have in business. In order to send emails, you must have a functioning return email address. There must be a functioning opt-in or opt-out for your emails. The email must include the independent agent's physical mailing address. This is part of the CAN-SPAM Act, that your physical mailing address needs to be there, and the email must clearly and conspicuously disclose that the message is an advertisement or solicitation. So in other words, don't try to hold shot people. Don't put in these weird subject lines of, you know, retire in 5 years. Do you want to know more? Keep it clean, keep it ethical, keep it balanced. The use of deceptive subject lines or false headers is prohibited. The independent agent must forward the opt-out request to the company if they receive an opt-out request for any of their emails that they're receiving. So if you receive an opt-out on your email that you're sending out, you need to send that request directly to the corporate office for that opt-out. You could do it on your side, but we need to have a record of that. And Worth may periodically send commercial emails on behalf of independent agents. Independent agents shall honor the opt-out request generated as a result of such emails sent by the company. So all we're asking is that you comply with the laws that are in place about emailing and try to keep yourself as best as possible away from broad email list spamming and just sending out bulk emails. The other thing I do want to let you know is we have never found much success with that, with these people that send out 1,000 or 2,000 emails at a shot. This truly is a warm market product. This truly is a product you want to share with your family and friends and coworkers. You want to keep the reputation and the name of the company solid, so as we continue to build our social footprint, our social networking, our social marketing footprint, that it is a good, solid build, and that the name has a good, the company has a good, solid reputation and ethical reputation. All of this information that I just went over with you also applies to faxes. You can't just send, and I know a lot of people don't use fax, but we still have rural areas that are using fax. So you can't just get a list of telephone fax numbers and then just start blasting out fax. I'll tell you the place where this will really hurt you on the emails and the faxes, where it will hurt you the most, is sending out to businesses that you do not know the business owners. I addressed this issue back in Boca with an individual. I had to address it again in Houston with an individual. If you do not know the business name, if you have not done business with them or know somebody in that business, you should not be sending them an email or a fax soliciting them for business. Unauthorized claims and actions. All right, so on unauthorized claims and actions, we're talking about indemnification here. As an independent agent is fully responsible for all of his or her verbal and written statements made regarding Worth products, services, and the compensation plan, which are not expressly contained in the official Worth materials. Independent agents agree to indemnify Worth and Worth directors, officers, employees, and agents and hold themselves harmless for any and all liability, including judgment, civil penalties, refunds, attorney's fees, court costs, loss of business incurred by Worth as a result of the independent agent's unauthorized representations or actions. This provision shall survive the termination of the Worth Unlimited Independent Agent and Agreement. What is this really saying? This is saying if you decide to produce some material and you decide to put it out there for publication or print or video or social networking or whatever function you intend to put that out there, and that information has not gone through compliance. In other words, it has not been signed off by compliance to say that this is now compliant material that you can produce. If you do not have that permission, and one of your pieces that you have out there gets a hand slap, and it affects our business or affects the business of other independent agents, and again, this is all the way down to judgments, civil penalties, refunds, attorney fees, court costs, or loss of business incurred by Worth, the independent agent will be responsible for all of those charges. Now, if your material has already gone through compliance and you can show us the material in question is exactly the material that we approved and was deemed as compliant, and you are getting a kickback or you're getting some difficulty from some regulation board in regards to that material, if that material has already been signed off by compliance and we can make the connection between the material in question and the material you submitted for compliance, then Worth Unlimited will take up the gauntlet. Worth Unlimited will handle communication with whatever entity it is that has a difficulty with the mailer piece, the flyer, the video, whatever it was that is creating the difficulty. But again, I must state very clearly and very carefully, if you produce materials and put them out there and they are not approved through compliance and you run into a regulation issue, you will be the one having to field and handle that regulation issue. And I want you to understand this last sentence, this provision shall survive the termination of the Worth Unlimited Independent Agent Agreement. It's always difficult to talk about this, and it's always difficult to talk about compliance, but it's necessary. And what's that saying is, even if all this happens and we terminate your Worth Independent Agent Agreement with us, and you are no longer a Worth Independent Agent, even though we terminate you, judgments, penalties, refunds, attorney's fees, court costs, that will all follow you until that situation is fully resolved, even if you are terminated from Worth Unlimited. Now, look, I know this is not something that a lot of people want to hear, and I know giving this information out can be a bit of a bummer, but if you really think about it, it is the right thing to do. It is the right information that we're giving you. We definitely do not want to have you jeopardize your business, especially with the explosion we're seeing, or jeopardize anyone else's business. I strongly suggest that every single person on this call this evening, when we get off this call, go to your agent back office, go to procedural resources, and look at your policies and procedures and take the time to read through it. And I will assure you that if you read through your policies and procedures, it will answer 99% of all of your questions regarding what material you can produce, what you can say, and what you cannot say in regards to compliance. Income claims. Now, being that we are in multi-level marketing, network marketing, I know we use more of an insurance model for our income than we do a true multi-level. We are listed as a multi-level company, but we are different in this context that with our company there is no auto ship, where every month you have a specific amount of material that you have to purchase in order to maintain your standing, and you end up with a garage full of product that you never sell just so you maintain as part of that organization. With Worth, there is no auto ship. It's a one and done. So we do step outside of that multi-level model, but that is what we are listed as, is as a multi-level business. Because independent agents do not have the data necessary to comply with the legal requirements for making income claims, an independent agent, when presenting or discussing the worth opportunity or compensation plan to a prospective independent agent, must use only worth-produced materials and may not make any other income projections, income claims, or disclose his or her worth income, including the showing of checks, copies of checks, bank statements, or tax records. Now, we all know that in this industry, when somebody comes into the company and they are now an agent and they are with Worth Unlimited as a Worth Independent agent, I have witnessed individuals, commenting on their income to another agent that's in there or showing a check stub. This truly is not compliant. But inside the fold of the company with people that are already independent agents, already rowing, yeah, I guess you have a little bit of gray area there because they're already in the company. But the word of the law, the letter of the law is, regardless if they're in the company or they're a prospect, you should not be showing them copies of checks or bank records or bank statements or tax records or anything along those lines for income, and especially not making any income claims to prospects. I heard a gentleman say it last weekend and the weekend before that. Said you can make between zero and a lot of money. Now, in our training on Saturdays and Friday nights, we do go over compensation on Friday nights, and that's just based on an average sale, but that's not projecting what you can make as an agent. It says the independent agents do not have the necessary data in order to comply with regulations. In order to make a strong income claim, we would have to produce a rubric each month that shows the lowest earner in the company, the highest earner in the company, and the median earning in the company. That's not something we've ever produced. That's something we're not going to produce because we don't want people out there making income claims. So what can you say? You could say make a substantial income. You could say make a substantial income part-time or full-time. You could say pick up that extra money you need working part-time or full-time. You could say how would it be to have an additional income stream to your current business. Anything along these lines where it's broad and very vanilla you can use, but when you start saying things like earn a 5-figure income part-time, earn a 6-figure income part-time, earn between $150,000 to $250,000 in your first year, these are all non-compliant statements because you cannot guarantee that. Following with that, you can't make statements like retire in 5 to 7 years. That's not truly an income statement, but I've seen that on some promo materials right there with the income being listed, which is non-compliant. What if somebody just got out of college and just got on the program? I doubt they're going to be retiring in 5 to 7 years, so be very, very careful with your income claims. Now, I know another question that's going to come up is we have a goal setter in your back office, an income calculator. Be very careful how you use that. We do not want that used in live meetings from the front of the room. If you are working with your team, you can use that income goal setter with a team member to go through it. But again, this is not materials we want to have recorded or materials that we want to have viewed on Facebook or anything along those lines. If you are having a personal conversation with someone face-to-face, and whatever you say, you're being ethical in that with your income and things of that nature. I just have to be honest. We prefer that you don't do it, but we're not going to know about it but do know this. We have had agents that have gone to prospects, given them information, spent time with them, and then those prospects contact the corporate office and say, hey, well, I heard this, but this doesn't sound right, and I heard this, and this doesn't sound right. What we're really trying to do is we don't want to muddy the water, and we don't want to have to play a lot of cleanup for your efforts out there in advertising We have enough materials as is. We have enough language as is. That you don't necessarily have to create new materials. I see a lot of people creating landing pages, and to me the landing page should be your replicated websites. That should be your landing page. If you're creating an email that says click here, it should take them, you should have your URL for your opportunity site, your URL for your product site, and that should be your landing page. They're sharp, they're done professionally, they give the information that the prospects need. Social media. At this time, we discourage the blanket use of social media. Social media presents a unique challenge in that it is organic and requires updating and streaming conversations. It would be virtually impossible to review all conversations and language prior to it being posted. Please make sure all of your posts to social media are to your current friends group and not unknown blast posts. This is something else. When we are having our live events, I am seeing more and more people now take our flyer from the Eventbrite site that's in your agent portal, take that flyer, put it in your own email, create your own page, and have people go to your page to register. We want to stop this. If you are registering people for the event, the only link that they should be able to register for an event is the Eventbrite site created by the corporate office located in your agent back office. That is the only site that you can provide for registration. We do not want our events promoted as what we would call public on Facebook or Twitter. If you are taking our flyer and you're putting it on your Facebook or Twitter, we want that to be private to your friend group. I cannot be more specific on that than I am being right now. If you are going to make a post to Facebook, do not make it public for our events. Make it private to your friend group, and the reason being, we've already had this occur where an event was made public, and we got about 15 people that showed up to the event, had no clue what they were showing up for. They just like showing up for events, and created havoc during the events of talking in the middle of them or trying to bring people to other opportunities. You get a lot of people when you make these events public that are looking for places to go and network and present their opportunity. This leaves a wide open door for people that are not truly vested with Worth Unlimited or vested in the opportunity to be able to disrupt a meeting. So please, all registrations for live events, if you're going to promote it, make sure you're using the link from Eventbrite located in your agent back office under the individual event. When you click register, it would be that URL that pops up. Please do not have secondary registration sites for any of our events. And thirdly, if you're doing anything on social media regarding the events, make sure it is made private, not public. And please make sure all posts to social media or to your current friends group. Worth Unlimited is placing a large focus on expanding their social media footprint in the next few months. We will keep the agent field force updated as this progresses. So know that this is on our radar. This is something that we are absolutely vested in creating and improving and getting out there for you all. Worth will not allow the use of its trade names, trademarks, designs, or symbols by any person, including independent agents, without its prior written permission. Independent agents may not produce or post any recorded company events, speeches, or trainings without written permission from Worth, nor may independent agents produce or post for sale or for personal use any recording of company-produced audio or videotape presentations. What is this really telling you? Get permit. This is not an area where we want you to beg forgiveness and ask for permission later. This is definitely an arena where we want you to produce materials, send them to us, get them approved before you put them out there. We want to make sure that you are not charging for any materials that you are creating, that they are free and able to be used by anyone inside the Worth organization. And over and above that, no recording of any of our materials that are out there for resale or for private use whatsoever. They are the property of Worth Unlimited. New materials. Worth Unlimited is committed to the continual improvement in all areas, including but not limited to advertising, the client experience, the agent opportunity, messaging and communication in all its forms. We also encourage the creation of new materials from our independent agents. Many of our best pieces have come from the independent agent field force. Send all compliance requests to compliance@worthunlimited.com. Now, I've given you the broad strokes of all of the information in the P&P, and I think just what I've gone over here, it's going to answer a lot of questions for individuals that have questions about, well, can we say this? Can we do this? I've seen some comments come up. What if we already have a website? What if we already have a landing page? What if we already have a Facebook page? My answer to that is send it to compliance. Send the URL. Let us take a look at it so we know that everything is in compliance. It would be much better for you to maybe have to drop your Facebook site or drop a marketing piece or a video or something along those lines than it would be to be afraid to submit that information or not worry about submitting that information, have that information hit a regulator's radar, have that come down on you, and then us with our hands up in the air saying you never submitted it for compliance. You're kind of standing on your own. At the end of the day, what are we really trying to say? Worth Unlimited has created phenomenal materials for you to be able to market the program and the opportunity. The language that you need is already there. The landing pages that you need with replicated sites are already there. The tools that you need to prospect are already there. Use what is already written, but if you absolutely feel the need that you have to create a piece, you feel the pieces we have are not going to get the job done for you, then make sure it is all sent proactively to compliance@worthunlimited.com for review and approval prior to any publication or printing. I think we can all see the opposite way would not be the best way to go, of having a regulator find your materials and then having to backtrack, so to speak, in that context. All right. All right, everybody. That is my training for this evening. And if you have any questions, please type in. We have Skylar and John are still here. They are on the computer. They are answering questions. And so I'm going to end the recorded portion of this presentation at this time. All right, we are still on the phone. We are still live. With business cards from the field in your agent back office, if you look under procedural resources, you will see two agent logos. One of those logos is built directly for a business card. We do not have business cards at this time. You can produce your own business cards, but you must represent yourself on the business card as Worth Unlimited Independent Agent. You must use that Worth logo if you're going to use any Worth wording whatsoever on your business card. So when you list your name, if you have your URL listed down there, the URL cannot include Worth or any of its trademarks or trade names. It would be your replicated website would be your best to put under there for information, for more information, your phone number. Don't make outrageous claims on your business card. You can pay off all your debt in as little as 5 to 7 years, pay off all your debt in 1/3 to 1/2 the time, earn an excellent income, earn a substantial income working part-time or full-time. So yes, you can produce your own business cards, but use the Worth logo found on your agent portal.